for you. Well, I did it again. Okay, so I just did a whole show there with the camera off. That sucks. That sucks. Okay, so I'll try to remember what it was I was talking about. Working on these palm trees, and this one here, I've just got some wire I found. Actually, this wire is fairly thick stuff. It came off a chain link fence. It's the kind that they wire the chain link fence onto the things. Anyways, I bent it into a nice gentle curve, and I taped this one on. I've made two here for our example. This one here I've kind of wired on and glued at the same time. But either way, you just want it held on there pretty good while you wrap it, okay? So what I'm using is this Raphael paper, this Raphael paper type thing. Open it up. This is what I did. Opened it up, and then I ripped off some strips, okay? So now we've got some strips of this paper rope type stuff. Now, I've just mixed up some white glue. I use this Well Bond all the time, like I say. White glue and some water into a container. Recycle your yogurt container type thing, you say. Reuse them first and then recycle them. That's what I do. They're really nice for this, because you can cut them down to the right size. So we've got this dipped in glue. Oh yeah, what else did I do? Yeah, I tossed a towel down on the floor because it's going to be a little bit messy. Try to wrap it fairly tight up at the top. Yeah, that'll hold your leaves on better too. Don't go all the way up to the top. I don't know, can you see? All sticky. God dang it. Anyways, that's one of the purposes behind using the same grub shirt. Okay, so let's go closer. Closer. Okay, close enough. Right, so don't go all the way up to the top, because we'll finish that off later, okay? But and then just now, oh man, it does take a fair amount of wrapping on this stuff, eh? So sometimes what I have done is, yeah, excuse me here, you take a piece of this without opening it up, okay, and you stick that on here like so, and then wrap it with the glue, okay? But it also helps to have this thing somewhat sticky first. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this on here. Fold it up back, so just to give us a little bit more thickness to wrap around, eh? Otherwise, you can spend all day wrapping. Like I said, wrap this fairly tight. Or, yeah, well, if you're doing it this way, wrap it as tight as you can, eh? Because you're basically cheating. So, you know what happens when you try to cheat? Usually doesn't friggin' work. So, like I said, wrap it as tight as you can. Near. Okay, so you take your piece. I'm going to back you up here again. Try finding a spot on here where it's not quite so sticky. Okay, so get a piece of this stuff. Dip it in your glue mixer. I add a little bit of black to the watered down glue. Eh? Gives you a base coat. And if you pull too hard, the paper kind of rips on you, but you know, it's sticky. Basically, just wrap it as best you can, eh? one thing is I wrap sort of like, you know, you spiral down going one way, and then when you go back up, go the other way, you know, so that it's, you know, you're going this way down, and then go back up this way, eh? So, not only does it simulate sort of the pattern of these trees, but it gives you a much tighter wrap. Okay. So on this one here, I'm going to go all the way up as high as I can. It just kind of bevels the top a little bit better for you, because I mean you do want it proportionate, eh? You want it skinnier at the top and fatter at the bottom, right? So I'm wrapping this right now it's about an inch wide. And ideally, like I was saying before, you want, if it's going to be folded over, you want the ripped edge as the showing edge, you know, like as you're going down, as I'm going down this way, this edge is going to be on top and it'll be showing because it's, you know, this edge is kind of getting buried by the next wrap, eh? So this edge, ideally, you want it to be the ripped edge, so it's not leaving a, oops, god dang it, a fine line, you know, like sirens. Near, just keep tripping on me. Of course, because you know, you're watching, but okay, so you get the idea? You know, it's already looking pretty good, and we haven't even painted it yet, mainly because we add paint to the glue, eh? Squish this around and get it tight on there. You can do it all at once. I find with a lot of this stuff that if you're, you know, if you're not in a hurry, okay, let this dry first and then wrap it again to build it up. And it's that kind of lamination that really makes stuff like this tougher. So if you build up, you know, a thing of layers that are securely bonded, mind you, okay, like as long as they're glued together, laminated, glued together, that layering is stronger than a solid piece of it. Normally it is, okay? So I'm going to let this dry, and then I will wrap it and shape it really nice, you know, so that it's, you know, I'm happy with the finished type look on it, okay? So that's pretty much it, okay? Should be able to get about 15 of these, and the total cost, okay, well, I mean, it's going to depend, okay? I got all these frilly thingies here at the dollar store, okay, and I paid, well, if you count just leaf sections, I think I got 18 of these for $1. 2 little guys and one of these, so six big ones and 12 these this size for $1. That's not bad. Okay. If you go to some store like Michael's, which, oh man, they're expensive. They're friggin' expensive. It'll cost you probably, you know, well, it depends, okay? You go to a store like Michael's and they've got a much bigger selection, okay? So suddenly you're not happy with those ones because they're too wide. They won't look right. Oh, this looks pretty good. Okay, that's what we've done. Okay. Now, you go to Michael's and you'll be looking for, oh, well, these ones are narrower. Those are more real, and you'll pay like $8.95. Okay, so whereas $9 would have bought you a friggin' lot of these. You know, now you've only got one set. You can make, you know, I don't know. These ones look pretty good. So I've used aquarium plants too, eh? So as long as it all depends on how fussy you are, eh? All depends on how fussy you are.